All right, everybody, welcome back. This is time for Game 3. You're joined here with Thrifty Senpai and Elcad. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. That last game was it was something. How was it? How was it being in it?
Not the greatest, but that's just how it goes sometimes. You can't win
That's
every
League of
single
Legends.
game, and yeah, that's some League of Legends. So yeah, sometimes you put it all on the Rift, and it's just not enough for it. High expectations. That's our number for now, but you know, we got some time to figure things out, and I think we're gonna bounce back just fine next week. But enough about the past. It's time for the present. How do you like these bands so far?
Love to see the respectful Thresh band coming out here against Tree. We saw him last week just be an absolute fucking monster with those hooks in the game against Tizzy and the Smash Bros. And we just don't want to see it again. We see the Asol go through, though.
What is the game plan against the Asol? I'm super curious to see here what they have cooking.
Maybe Zed Sweaty Asol is just expecting another 50-minute slobber knocker. They figured that, hey, we made it there last time. Let's just make it there this time with a more heavily scaling champion.
Dude, if your game goes 40 minutes, Aurelion Sol is just gonna be relevant. Whoa. That's a spicy
Switch
bot lane.
Rakan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, I love the bans from both these teams so much, assuming they have a plan for the Aurelion Sol. And maybe if that plan is just like, hey, he's nerfed, he's not Giga broken now, and we're just going to actually end the game before 45 minutes, like we're not going to play hyperscaler, down for it.
But hey, Nautilus, a solid pick out of Resquect and Albino Joe in the bot lane from ZSA.
Kate Knott versus Rakan Twitch. I don't actually know how I don't know any of really how Twitch's lane matchups go. I just know that they're all really snowbally.
Same.
But
maybe that's what they're counting on.
Dude, Lazy Lives does play Twitch. He's the only AD carry in the league that I know that plays Twitch. Which is something different because Twitch plays very different from a lot of the other AD carries.
Brundle for the first time tonight coming out on the side of Flex Panther.
Yep, that's a great flex pick.
Yes, very much so.
Thundercount has played it in the top lane. Tank Axe has played it in the jungle. We've actually only seen Tank Axe play that jungle. But yeah, I think that's really, really great because so far we've seen Thundercount's two biggest champions have both been banned, the Kled and the Cho. I think those are great. We've seen him do tons of work on both of those, so it's yeah, just don't deal with it.
Do you think we see some mid lane bans from the side of Zetsweaty Asol trying to pinch that a little bit?
We haven't seen Renai pick yet, and
there
so
we go.
There's
the Vel'Koz.
So we're gonna see a Vel'Koz ban here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like. Oh God, I'm not exactly 100% sure. I know Blab's dabbled with Assassins and Aurelion Sol at the very beginning of the season, but he hasn't really locked into any of them. So I wouldn't be surprised here to see an Orianna ban, right? This mid laner that's got a high amount of CC, high pressure.
Yep.
And I love these bans. I'm not super high on the Nocturne ban here, but it's a good one against Bang. I do love the Shen ban against Balkray. We saw
the Shen ban,
a great effect, and the Shen was just so impactful, in every single game we've seen tonight, right?
Absolutely.
A fire ban. Okay.
We see, and exactly what I said. See them trying to pinch the mid lane, trying to make sure that Phoenix Blaze has the highest chance for survival that he possibly can on that infinitely scaling champion.
I think Aurelion Sol is a great pick into, especially unless Renai and Phoenix Blaze in particular, I think are they're both. Yep, there we go. There's the Orianna I was talking about. But I think both of them tend to not play as aggressive in the lane in mid, and I think so. Assuming that your team doesn't need you to play through the mid lane. So if you're a team like the Master Splinter team, where I think Aurelion Sol is you got to pick or ban against that, right?
Yep.
Because you can't expect your mid laner to be the one who's driving the damage here. And we're going to see a Mumu Jarvan. That's Jarvan top.
Yes, it is. I highly expect that Amumu to be going to my Wang. He's played quite a bit of it in the jungle in his solo queue. He's really enjoyed it. Some of his most pop-offy games that he has posted to the League channel have been on that Amumu.
And that's gonna be Poppy
we see
top.
A Poppy top.
Yep.
Interesting.
The Trundle will be in the jungle, I assume. I don't remember the game order for people, but that's an interesting one. I'm gonna have to hit up Thor's OPGG. Like, also no Garen. No Garen again on the Bong Crank.
No,
He's
we
decided, they decided, you know, they have 420 Garen 69, makes it through, does not pick it. Um,
Going back and looking at the bans here, banning out the Xayah and the Kaisa from Respect, trying to make him less impactful. Obviously, the Caitlyn's still a good pickup here. But what do we think about the Maokai and the Nocturne bans onto My Wang with how impactful he can be on the Amumu?
I think
Is
the
that
Maokai ban was a great ban. We saw him have a ton of effect on it. Maokai's really, really solid. He's also a flex pick between multiple roles. Um, Not that Joey doesn't play Maokai support, so it's really just like mostly a jungle ban. As like I probably talking. I'm not seeing the Nocturne ban though, honestly. I like with what you saw in their team.
Yep.
It wasn't a team that was set to enable Nocturne, especially when you're planning on banning the Shen. I can't help but wonder if that was like a we just don't want to play against Nocturne, or they're like they banned it. They're like, oh, we should also ban the Shen, and they're like, oh, well, we probably could have got one of those things where it's like once you did it afterwards, you realized I could have swapped these up.
On the flip side, I don't think you lost out too much for that from Flex Panther because there's no way in hell that you ban out the J4 on that side expecting it to go top.
There was zero way you see that one coming. I mean, I like he's got like a couple games of it. Like, yeah, not a clue on how that was gonna go. But like, oh man, I'm so interested to see how this bot lane goes though, because like when they put those two bans under Respect like that, and then they immediately go Twitch Recon, they have to expect that Respect's almost assuredly gonna pick Caitlyn, right? That is like those are his three biggest champs.
Yep.
Right there. After that it's still Lucian, and like he could do Jhin, but like his team's not really conducive to him playing Jhin, just because like he needs to be more of like that's just not where he's sitting at a lot in the meta right now. So like they know you're gonna see either like Lucian, Nami, or Caitlyn not, right?
Yep. Ultimately, I do like the team comp from ZSA. I like that they have other than the Jarvan, which is a little bit weird, but you have the thick boys to put in front of the Caitlyn to be able to just play safe, play for long. You can get a little bit aggressive, as we've seen Respect loves to do in a lot of situations where he just gets a little bit antsy. Maybe we see some aggressive ease out of the Caitlyn with him popping ahead and being able to just hit somebody. But I still think it looks like that they're playing around the idea of the game is going to last. We're going to make the game last a while, whether you want it to or not.
I really, really like their comp. And I'm very curious to see how things go. I mean, like it is totally I feel like if this goes late, they just carry through, right? They have a Aurelion Soul, they have a beefy team, they have a truckload of CC.
Honestly, I think it lines up pretty well against what Flex Panther's trying to do as well. I mean, we've seen what happens when ZSA doesn't play through Respect. It just doesn't work out as strongly for them. I was talking with Wang over the weekend, and he said the exact thing. They've identified that the way that their team needs to win games is just to play around Respect. Give him the champions that he needs. Everybody else formulate to that. And that looks like exactly what's lined up for them. And then into the Twitch and Rakan, which looks like the only real way that Flex Panther is going to be able to try and leverage an early advantage situation for themselves. If I'm ZSA, I think I'm feeling pretty good about how that draft went.
Yeah, I think they're feeling very happy about how that draft went. I'm so yeah. The pop, it's like there's some interesting actions of the Poppy. Like there is a lot that can go right for Flex Panther if they go. Something that I think is very relevant, and I have the crazy black screen load again.
Yep, same.
All right, cool. So we'll figure that out here. Let's see. And then are we good? Nope.
It's Angie.
It's so Angie, as they say.
Good old Angie client.
Yep, Angie client doing its thing.
All right,
Alright.
small indie company.
Alright, cool. I think... Nope. JK. We got these things loaded in. We can't start, though. Come on. Alright, cool. I'm in. I'm paused at 10 seconds.
Okay.
So...
Let me go ahead to 10.
Yep.
All right, I am paused at 10.
Cool. And I'm going to take us in 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
Alright. And after all of that...
Hey, that was faster than you and I made it in last week. I think we take those.
Yeah, oh, dude. I mean, if that's all we had to do to get in, we 100% take those.
Now, one thing I do want to point out from the comp on Flex Panther is that 3 of these picks are the exact same picks that we saw in their second game last week, with Tree being very impactful on the recon, having consistent good knockups. We saw Blab, Renai circulation.
Coming in, the hook going to miss. Just barely tank axe, stone-faced, no flash. But ZSA looking for trouble. Ball going to scout it out, seeing they're pushing in. Twitch going to stealth. And we're just going to walk on out there.
I love Twitch's little voice lines. The do-do-do-do-do. That shit is great.
Oh, yeah.
But we saw Blab on the Orianna be consistently impactful with those shockwaves, being able to help his team control the map. And we saw Tankax be pretty good on the Trundle. He didn't do anything extravagant, but he also didn't fuck up that much. Yeah. So I think we have the same solid core with an interesting pick from Lazy Laz, but such an early pick makes you think they gotta have something up their sleeve, right?
I'm super good. Like, this team definitely can do a lot, right? Thundercraft has played a lot of Poppy. One of his most played champions also, actually. I had to double check. It's just one that you just don't think about as much as like the Cho and the Kled. But something that I was pointing out is that they have the harder team to execute on. They have the harder team to play, and I think that is
absolutely
something. And I think that is something that like is relevant in pro play, and it is even way more relevant in the Batty League.
100%. We see a good hook from Albino Joe, get some early pressure onto Christmas Tree. Not going to get a whole lot beyond that, though.
Nah, just the initial posturing here. No one's on level 2, no Fabled level 1 all-ins yet. We will see.
Like, if there were 2 bot lanes where I would expect either side could all-in level 1 at a moment's notice, it would be either of these 2 bot lanes.
Oh, yeah. This is, like, the premier bot lane matchup for this Batty League. As now we're seeing a bunch of mid-slug going down. Directed camera says nothing too interesting to look at, though. We're going to watch Poppy take a tower shot.
Quite a bit of damage coming out from both Phoenix Blaze and Renai Circulation. Both of them under half health, needing to... We see Phoenix Blaze going through his pot already, trying to get some of that health back. I like the early trades. Oh, we also see a heal coming out of Renai Circulation. I missed that he used a summoner spell there. Love to be on the side of Phoenix Blaze with getting that trade early on.
Yeah, interesting choice for heal. So, like, Barrier does have a shorter cooldown than the heal. Heal obviously just taking on the bot lane because of the 2v2 potential primarily. So that's like, there's a decent amount of the play room, room for them to play around that here. Oh man, something I just remembered is if this bot lane gets going, I know both Resquect and Joey hate playing against Twitch when they're behind. And I just kind of realized that it just clicked.
That is a very valid point, especially when you have a team of, let's say, some exciting temperament, like we do on ZSA.
Yeah, the hook coming down, exhaust coming through. Laser is going to have to force to flash out. Resquest still pumping autos. Tree taking damage. Ignites out. He's getting very low, but he's going to flash out the safety for the root coming through on a Lazy Laz. People are getting so low, but Albino Joe going in. He still has a full health bar. He flashes forward. He does not get it. Tree getting the knock up here. Resquest shooting out. But the Sheriff of Piltover does not pick up a kill.
Did Joey auto the wrong direction?
I'm not entirely sure.
I swear.
Oh, the hook's coming through, though.
The hook onto Tree.
Oh my goodness, this whole lane has got me on the edge of my seat. Like,
my God, I don't know if my heart's gonna handle this laning phase, dude.
Dude, oh man, there is quite a bit going down here. Quite a bit stuff. My Wang, though, coming for the gank. Poppy showing how effective she is at stuffing a Mumu ganks. That is going to be something to watch out for at a lot of stages of the game. Shutting down those dashes. It's my Wang looking around. Maybe we can feel it out. Maybe there's something to gain here.
I think if you are Wang and Boncrank here, though, especially Wang with how they had to play last week, I think you're perfectly happy just putting yourself in a situation where Boncrank isn't falling behind on his little bit of left field pick, where he's not getting pushed in by ThunderConf, and we don't let him have the same impactful game that he had against this team last week. So if we're losing a little bit of pressure while everybody is busy dicking each other in the bot lane, I think you're okay just to not.
Oh, they're so happy to just play this game for neutral and just like be like, we have a Mumu Aurelion, so we'll fucking scale.
Exactly.
Like that just carries for such a long, like such a heavy amount late game.
The J4 looking good in a number of these trades, but significantly behind on the CS here. Down 14 as of right now.
Those trades favor for him right now because he has made it back. He's back in TP, so he has Sheen right now. But ThunderConf, not afraid to get scrappy here. I'm afraid for what will happen once he does manage to take a pack here.
Agreed. ThunderConf looks very, very comfortable just sticking around playing at these low life totals, knowing that Wang isn't anywhere nearby.
Yeah, I think Boncrank actually does have lethal on him right there, and he just doesn't know it, potentially. He did have there was a brief situation where like he could just Cataclysm onto it, and Cataclysm is fast enough that like Poppy can't do the dash knockup stop.
Interrupt the back there, that was cute.
If anything, he's gonna do it again. Oh, the thought of it, the sheer thought of interrupting the back was enough to interrupt. He's like, I'm gonna do it.
He walked at him menacingly.
Meanwhile, we have a first gank on a bot lane. Tank X walking in, knock up onto Albino Joe. Albino Joe hooking out, but not going to make it all the way. Pillar coming through to seal his death, and we will have first blood onto Lazy Laz.
It's such an unfortunate situation to have first blood go that way after you had so close to 2 kills from the side of Respect and Albino Joe.
Oh yeah, and honestly, also like they almost had first blood for Flex Panther as well. Like that whole fight. There was so much tension in the bot lane, and there's just like, what's the most anticlimactic way to have this go end? Treadle's gonna come down. He's gonna have a nice ass pillar, and the Tin Man just going off to the murky depths.
Murky depths, indeed. I sincerely hope for ZSA that we don't see Lazy Laz on the Twitch get significantly ahead if what you said before is true and they get a little bit in their own heads about playing from behind with the sneaky rat assassin.
Dude, it is so easy for him to get in your head when you're behind because you're just like, I'm gonna go get this wave, and then next thing you know, the Twitch pops up and he's behind you and he gats you down, and now instead of being 2 kills ahead, he's 3 kills ahead, and it can snowball out of control so easily. Fortunately, Albino Joe is on a tankier support, so the Twitch assassination is a significantly harder time, a significantly riskier time to go all in on that. Off screen, off directly cam, it's like, you don't need to see Dragon. We got Dragon going in the bot lane over to Flex Panther.
Nothing nothing much entertaining there, just taking the advantage that they were able to get for themselves, transitioning it very cleanly, easily into the first strike of the game.
Yep. My Wang getting the Herald shoved off. ThunderConf scouting that one out. Wisely preventing the counter objective. But besides that, first blood, this game looking like very, very even. We got a couple, wave or 2 differences on minions here and there. Aurelion Soul sitting at 60 stacks. Halfway to having the Skies descend. But ping's going down. Tank Axe and ThunderConf starting up that Herald. I
don't think they're in any position to contest it. No. I think Boncrank just goes back to the top, catches up a little bit on that CS. He has closed that gap a little bit when Poppy did need to take the back, like you were mentioning before, which we're really, happy to see from the side of Boncrank. And ultimately, the thing that we have to be mindful of the entirety of this game is we're at 9 minutes, 32 seconds. There have been no towers taken. There has been a Herald, a Dragon, and a kill. While it's not great that they've all gone the way of Flex Panther, we're still playing for the long game for ZSA.
Oh, yeah. Herald is a bit of gold when it dies, but, like, that's unrealized value right now. It's like, if they don't get much with that Herald here, I mean, it will have to go before plates are off, so that's good. But, right, but, like, if they don't get much with that Herald here, this is still a 1K game, which is dead even.
I think you are perfectly fine with it being in that situation
and
here.
And you're so fine with that as that Sweaty Acel.
I think we just need to play safe.
Oh,
get our
Bonkrank
experience, get
sees
the
his
CS.
opportunity, but a huge CC chain gonna force it out.
Questionable flash at the end there, but he gets out. He gets out safely.
You know, but big trade in the bot lane leaves no time for rest. Caitlyn ult trap gonna land on the Xmas tree. So is the Nautilus depth charge, but a pair of dashes will ensure his safety. Meanwhile, My Wang on Renai's circulation, duking it out. Phoenix plays though. Trundle ult coming through is gonna flash, but it's not gonna be enough. Chomp gonna get baited by barrier, but will still not be enough. Renai's circulation gonna be able to walk it out. My Wang now stuck between a troll and a hard place. But a nice bandage should be able to secure him and escape as the pillar is not up. But
we
meanwhile,
see a good
Lazy
hook
Laz
on
taking
Lazy
a
Laz.
hook out.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Well,
Just
Trundle,
aggressive trading,
Trundle
posturing in
not
every
opting
position.
to use the Rift Herald there, actually. Interesting. He's got about half his time there. Decides that he's not happy with just taking about 2 plates. But Thundercut once again playing with fire, and Bonkrank gonna make some nice trades on him.
You know, for being a weird pick, Bonkrank looking very comfortable on this Jarvan.
Yeah, he is down, but like, there's a very important difference here. And I can't remember who I was talking to about this the other day. But when you are playing in a lane and you're the weaker player in the lane and you know it, it is important to not just bend over and take it fully.
Want to call out Dan pointing out in chat that the top laner who won in CS lost the last game.
Yeah.
CS is a made-up stat.
That is not true. But My Wang getting caught here. Nice shockwave. Gonna keep him in. Reliant still coming in a little late. Decides he does not want it. The quickness is gonna make Albino Joe run towards his death, but a hook out to safety. Another kill over for Flex Panther. Tankax really hitting his stride this game.
Absolutely. Being very impactful on the Trundle, showing up where he needs to be, and being able to get in and just put some, honestly, monstrous amounts of damage for this early in the game and where they're at.
He's doing phenomenal. He's had great objective control. He's had great damage.
You see the Cataclysm on a Bonkrank in the top lane.
Yeah, and he's duking it out here, but Poppy CC Chain's going to make this trade go very, very close. Herald in the bot lane coming out. We're going to get some plates onto this bot lane. This tower is going to go low but not fall. Bonkrank flirting with danger here. A Poppy charge into the tower could kill, but it does not hit the tower. He does not get the stun in, but the shield will be enough. And a successful dive for Thundercut.
Wow, expertly playing the Poppy on top here. Looks so comfortable. Showing off the quintessential, I'm not trapped in here with you. You are trapped in here with me.
Dude,
twice we see the Cataclysm come out. Twice we see it not be able to secure anything on the Poppy.
So close. Thundercut is just so comfortable on this Poppy. He knows like pretty much exactly how low and what he can do and what he can get away with.
And once again, I called this out before the game. Renai's circulation on the Orianna doesn't necessarily need to get the kills. He doesn't necessarily need to be where all the action is.
He's quietly gotten up to about a 3-wave lead here in the mid lane. And he's made some nice plays. He's had some nice assists. He had a nice shockwave that secured a dragon fight. Not dragon fight, a jungle fight.
Yep. Yeah, once again, just looking very comfortable on it.
I mean, that's a great spot to be. When you can play the champion the way it's meant to be played. Quickness coming through, but nothing coming out too much. My way is going to get actually a big alt shockwave. Not going to find anyone. Riot's circulation going down. Phoenix Blaze picking it up. And oh my goodness, Phoenix Blaze is just getting to clean up finally.
Wow. So good from the side of ZSA.
Actually
being down walking up river menacingly again, and then being able to get 2 kills out of it.
Yeah.
The Acel just coming out of left field and spitting his dragon bullshit all over their faces.
It was so big that, like, the Sky's Descent, like, the Falling Star did not hit. But then Mai Wang had a huge ult. Curse of Saboni comes through, and then Phoenix Blaze just, yeah, like you said, breathing dragon bullshit. Just, and it's so much dragon bullshit.
It's the best way to describe exactly what Acel is doing throughout the game. Thundercount once again getting a good CC chain on Von
no.
Crank. The questionable Cataclysm he's able to
Dude,
get
no, a
out.
hot Cataclysm.
Oh. See, I thought maybe see, I'm so used to watching Daria Chapman play that I assume that every play that a top laner makes is just to be maximum aggression. But here, we see him use it defensively, get himself to safety, and not let Thundercount develop more of a lead. Well done.
Yep, TPing back in to make sure he catches that wave. Yeah, this lead growing for Thundercount, but far from insurmountable. Like, Bong Crank being Bong cracked here.
A far cry from the lead that we saw Thundercount have
Yeah.
in last week's game between these two teams.
Yep. Oh, Joey, he's checking the bush. Orianna coming through.
Joey.
Dissonance coming out. Knockup gonna go wise flash, but a shockwave gonna
Good
find
flash.
Albino Joe. He hooks out, but Expunge will finish him. And meanwhile, Aurelion Sol coming through. He's gonna W over. Nice knockup from Bong Crank, but he's gonna get slammed into the wall. A beautiful fucking flash out from Thundercount.
That was a sexy bandage out of Mai Wang over that jungle wall there, though, leaping himself all the way to the enemy. And again, you called it out at the beginning when we were talking about this. Just Wang has had significantly impactful games on the Amumu. He's on a champion that he's comfortable in. He's in as a role that he's comfortable in, looking like he's going to be able to do good work for his team in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Mummy ults, even last week when things didn't go right, like, his Amumu ults have always been just so big. And oh god, they just, like, when Aurelion Sol has this guy's descent, like, when he's got big ult, the combination of those two is just so much CC and so much damage, and it just makes for a very scary team fight. But
absolutely,
Flex Panther is continuing to build a lead. The lead's grown, started off at a couple hundred, got to 1,000, we're at about 2.5K now. The question is the lead they're building, are they going to be able to snowball it enough for them to overcome this late game Aurelion Sol and this late game of Mumu?
It's going to be really hard to tell. We see Wang coming up here. Thundercount, is he going to be able to do anything
good
here?
Pathing, Minion Wave going to block. Q1 come through, Jarvan knockup. Yeah.
Not able to get a ton there.
Fair amount of damage, but not a ton. How much we see? Really, it's still at 160. He's getting close to that 10 stacks per minute point. That's kind of the point where you're knowing that this Aurelion Sol starting to really come online. He's got the Rod of Ages. He's got a couple stacks on it, but 6 more to go.
One other thing I do want to point out is in the bot lane, we see Resquect up 21 CS. Granted, they did just push a wave in. Lazy Lance is going to be able to get some of this back, but right, he's been able to stay consistently, provide consistent pressure, almost get a bunch of kills.
He's up gold.
Ooh.
I mean, technically, like he's up a minion's worth of gold.
Yep. Even with the Twitch being 2-0, I think we really want to look to Lazy Laz to kind of snowball this team out of there. Resquect saying, "Not on my watch, you sneaky little sewer munchkin."
Yeah, Lazy Laz determined to say it's rat time. But you know what? It looks like a ZSA is coming out. They have some other plans. A beautiful stealth gonna cancel the depth charge, but that's fine. Oh my goodness, my Wang's all gets Tank Axe as well. Tank Axe coming in, Enix Blaze coming in, TP coming in, Sky's Descent comes through, but it's not looking good. Resquect gonna go down. Lazy Laz going down on the back end though, but this Aurelion Sol putting out a lot of damage. Albino Joe going down as well. Next thing you know, it's just a 2-for-2. We send everyone here except for Bong Crank, who's just hanging out in the top lane. He's going to get to take some tower damage. Deal some tower damage.
I think, again, as ZSA, you're kind of fine with that, a 2-for-2
Oh,
trade.
but a Shockwave pillar coming
soon.
through Flash and Barrier. Trundle's going to clean this one up. That tower is not enough to protect you, my friend. And just like that, the caster curse rings true.
I gotta stop fucking doing it. I keep doing it, Tim.
But Mai Wang dropping the Herald will take a turret here. answering back, and Bonkrank looking like he might be able to get a second one as well. This tower is getting quite low. Screw you, directed camera. I'm watching this. We're seeing where it's going. But Thundercunt's gonna save it. Bonkrank determined. He says, I'm finishing this tower. Flag and drag out, flash out, but Thundercunt once more. Dash coming through, Q coming out, another flag and drag. He's got so much CDR. Thundercunt wants it though, but he's not gonna get it.
Beautifully played by Bonkrank, honestly. Sticking around, knowing, honestly, like it seems like he understands the limit of jabbing quite well.
That was some serious, like, limit knowledge. Like, that was like, I can get this, I can get out. And he's TPing to try and save the tower here back. Yeah, the classic.
Oh,
Poppy
my
says,
God.
nope. This flag and drag coming through, but you did not want to be there. A nice under the wall, and Bonkrank finds himself taking a large amount of damage. This Poppy is just doing work.
Thundercunt once again
But
being
Rally
terrifying.
Soul coming through. But he finds himself slamming into the wall, and next thing you know, Poppy's just going to walk out to safety. Cataclysm coming through, though. Poppy's stuck in there. Falling Star coming through. A lot of CC. The Cataclysm keeping it tuck. The shield coming through. My Wang with the bandage to secure what will almost... Okay, there we go.
Finally.
And Thundercunt taking 3 members on, and quite a bit of time, but no time for breaths. Nice hook, depth charge coming through, a beautiful CC layer. But Albino Jaw, question mark pinks coming through. You see it here first. Joe gonna Joe.
These some very positive trades from ZSA. They were, for those of you who weren't looking at the goal difference leading up to this, they were down 3.1k just a minute and 10 seconds
and it's
ago.
Less than 1k, just like
less
that.
than 1k. Absolutely fantastic map play from all of them. My Wang being able to get where he needs to be able to impact. And honestly, I wasn't really watching the bot lane. Why was Lazy Last that far up with seemingly no support around him?
I honestly missed it. There was so much going on. The next thing I know, it directed camera's like, "Hey, check this sweet hook," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a sweet hook."
See, this is where we need the actual like LCS style production to be able to give us replays so that we can see what the hell happened.
Where's my updated client? Like, where's my super spectator mode where I can have like the production booth and we can go crazy with it? Not that we'd be able to use it properly, but
oh no, we're not good enough.
No, we're not good enough, but we can pretend to be.
Another thing I want to point out in that last little exchange that we had.
Tank Guy's getting hooked here, but I would love to hear what you have, but there's a lot going on. A flash safety, Caitlyn all coming from downtown, but they're waiting again? All right. Now that we have a moment to breathe, maybe.
Whew! Maybe. We see the Poppy coming in towards Albino Joe here, landing the hook.
He's fine. This Poppy's so tanky. Yeah, he's going to walk it out. And Joe, oh my God, going deep.
See, you say that, but it's Joey's Nautilus.
Yeah, great use of the big blast code. He sends himself phenomenal catch-up.
All right, maybe we have a second to breathe.
Yeah, you got a second, I believe.
Huh. All right. So one thing I want to point out from the fight before the last fight, where we saw Wang finally get the last hit onto Thundercunt there with the help of Phoenix Blaze, was, again, the confidence...
They don't know yet. They don't know yet. Phoenix Blaze is caught up by the quickness. Oh, but the Vision Cone comes through. Poppy's going to have a big ult, attacking out Bonkrank here. Shockwave going to find 2. Falling Star finds 3, though. Mumu also finds 3. There's a lot of damage coming through. Exodus Tree is the first to fall, but surely not the last. Tank Axe, though, on a killing spree, taking 2 more. That's a double kill. But Phoenix Blaze, he is going crazy. This Aurelion Soul is able to go ahead and get all these resets. Bonkrank coming back into the fight now. Tank Axe going down from a Cataclysm. Thundercunt picking up 1 more, though, as Bonkrank now finds himself against the world. Thundercunt, and now a sneaky rat.
Sneaking up.
He comes through. Bonkrank getting denied. Flag and drag cannot go through. Poppy here gonna go ahead and duke it out. There's nothing for him to drag to it. Yep, there he goes. He says this is it. He came to terms with his fate.
Right after we said we might have a moment to breathe.
Ready. Oof. Yep. Sorry, Mitch. That's just how it goes sometimes.
No, this game, we are going places.
Man. Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna have a 30-minute game like we had in our previous game, but I also don't think we're gonna have a 53-minute game like we had in Game 1 today.
This time, Joey finds another nice hook, but this time Lazy Last ready for it. He's like, you got no backup. I can shoot you up. We can put a little bit of damage on there.
The summation of what I was trying to say earlier I like to see Bonkrank having confidence on the J4, being at 25% health, still going in on the Poppy that's been giving him the business in lane, locking him down and ensuring that they were able to secure that kill, you know, 7 kills
it's
ago.
It's such a difference from playing defensive and just like totally taking it, right? Like the fact that you're not just letting them like never trading on them, right? You're saying like, hey, if you do mess up, I will try and fuck you up here, right? I'm not going to take every shot I have, and I'm going to concede a few minions that I probably wouldn't to normally because I'm afraid. And that's fine, because you know, you got to play the lane how it is. But he's not just saying, like, hey, you get a free pass, do what you want. And a nice hook here, nice Vantage coming in. And this is the Sky's Descend, massive shockwaves. Tank guys CC, but he's not going down. Phoenix Blaze having to flash away from the Poppy ult. Flying Drake getting stuffed here, and all of a sudden, this is like a total rout here for ZSA. Thundercup in the middle of it all. They have not been able to take anyone down. Bonkrank now falling here. Beautiful shockwave going to pull my way back into the team. And double kill for Lazy Laz. Phoenix Blaze cannot escape. That is a 4-for-0. Respect the only one to escape with his life.
That hurts so bad. The setup looked good. They had a really good plan, but the problem is Tankax is just so fucking big.
They just
on the 6-2 and before this fight, the 6-2 and 3 Trundle, or 6-2 and 2 Trundle, excuse me.
The fact like they suck so much into him, and then he didn't die, and that is the last place you want to be at.
All right, maybe I was wrong. Maybe we do see a very long game.
Yeah, who knows? They have a Baron here and all. Like, they're at 5k all of a sudden. This Baron could turn around and, like...
True.
They're not answering. Like, this is theirs.
Looks like a very free Baron.
My
we
game
see
just
respect.
froze.
Okay.
Yep. So...
All right, well... we see them going in on the Baron. They just secured it, able to get that without any answers from the side of ZSA. We see them coming in here a little bit. Scryer's Bloom going to go over them, not really able to get anything other than watching where they're leaving from.
Yeah, I literally can't spectate past 26 minutes.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
Well...
if I try to go further and hit play, it turns my whole screen red. It's kind of cool.
I guess we could just do this like a radio broadcast where I explain absolutely everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want a radio broadcast, let's serenade me.
I'll do my best. All right, since that's pretty much the only option that we have here. All right. Black Panther are doing their best to take advantage of the Baron buff as they're going through here. ZSA trying to get what they can out of the jungle, but unfortunately, Flex Panther just really pushing in aggressively and successfully with the Baron buff that they've established. We see a number of deep wards from Flex Panther deep into ZSA's jungle. They've got 4 that's giving them good visibility there. Tankax coming onto my wing, getting some good early damage on him. Phoenix Blaze attempting to answer some amount of it. Everybody's just going to kind of walk back away from each other. Again, some aggressive posturing, but Flex Panther grouped up as 5 in the mid lane, willing to push in with the Baron buff. Xmas Tree going in on the recon, being able to get a good knockup. We see Phoenix Blaze taking some early damage. He gets popped along with Albino Joe. 2 kills over to Lazy Laz as they come in on the tier 2 tower. 5v3 with the Baron buff. Looking a little bit scary for ZSA as they're kind of pushing in here uncontested. Going for the tier 3 turret. They're getting some damage put down onto it. My God. They melt the tier 3 turret. They go in on the inhibitor, and it looks like they're just going to continue to push forward with this. They're feeling spicy. They've got a little bit of a minion wave with them. Another minion wave crashing in right behind it. My Wang's trying to defend it. Gets it to Moo Hook onto Lazy Laz. Flashes out of Twitch's range to try and stay alive and try and keep this tower alive, but ultimately it doesn't look like it's going to do much as Flex Panther is still grouped up as 5. They are still pushing in here. Albino Joe coming out, trying to get a hook on, hitting a minion, not able to do a whole lot. Flex Panther just kind of turning around, walking away, happy with the damage that they did, but the base of ZSA in a little bit of shambles. One of the Nexus towers down to 50% health. Inhibitor down, tier 3 turret down. We see Bonkrank trying to fight Thundercunt in under the tier 2 top, maybe a little bit too aggressively. Thundercunt coming back in, doing some good damage on him. My Wang coming in with a Mumu. Bandage able to get a little bit done just by themselves, some space, but they are still getting so much pressure in from the Baroned up minions. The Baron buff is still up on all 5 members of Flex Panther. Albino Joe goes in, gets a good hook onto Xmas Tree, but ultimately he's just stuck in the middle between a rock and a hard place. Lazy Laz gets the kill onto him. Bonkrank trying to go deep, get the Cataclysm onto the backline. He's not able to. As he gets blown up, we see a Skies Descend, but it doesn't have enough damage. My Wang taking pot shots from Lazy Laz. Tank Axe going in deep. Finally gets shut down by Phoenix Blaze, but ultimately it's not enough. Phoenix Blaze, the last remaining member against 3 Baron up members from the other side, notably Lazy Laz and Thunderconth, able to put out just a massive amount of damage as they push their way into the base. Renai Circulation getting some damage onto one of the Nexus Towers. Nexus Tower goes down. Second Nexus Tower looks like it's about to fall. Phoenix Blaze does not look like he's going to be able to hold this one together. The soonest respawn timer is Albino Joe, 4 seconds away from that. We see Thunderconth push him into the wall, get him stunned out of the way. Lazy Laz puts the last bit of damage on the Nexus, and that is game, folks.
Boom. Mitch bringing you guys a beautiful radio broadcast. I couldn't bring it as a spoiler, guys, because when you have this bug, and the reason why I couldn't reset it is because that's because the game is over, so I could never ever get a chance to respectate it. So, everyone, give some love to Mitch. Fucking man killed it. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the baddie breakdown. Actually, hold on. I'll show you the fucking post game here in a second. But yeah. Other than that, stay tuned, guys. We'll be with baddie breakdown in a couple of minutes.